right. But hearing like that is because I forgot to turn off my Bluetooth, and so my phone was still connected to my headphones, and they were all the way on the bed. So that's why the volume is very low, and it sucks because man, those are some powerful messages, man. I'm gonna try my best to articulate the message for you guys like in a more condensed or concise form, or at least get the main messages. So um, what? So the main takeaways from those two videos is that God has a funny way of humbling people who betray you, take you for granted, or people who decide to be an enemy to somebody who was a friend to them, somebody who showed up, as safety and secure, created a sense of security for them. God has a funny way of humiliating the proud or humbling these people who, in actuality, they're not just betraying you, they're not just forsaking you, they're not just disrespecting you, but they're disrespecting God by disrespecting you. They're yeah. And God has a funny way of humbling these people. So this is like you got a red flag. Like this is this energy of some individuals as well who betrayed you for a certain amount of money, or they betrayed you for somebody who they thought was better, or they betrayed you for certain opportunities that they thought they were going to get. Okay, or people that they thought they were going to meet and be around. Like the way God is handling the situation, this is you being put in position, you being granted the opportunities that they betrayed you for, right? And this is also the energy of them basically responding to something that we should be grateful for, okay? Something that's actually good for the soul. Things that people pray for and ask for all the time. Basically foundational things, right? So what God ends up doing by them responding with that ungrateful energy, like God literally gives them the complete opposite. So if you were somebody who were literally angelic, you were divine, you were trustworthy, you were emotionally safe and created emotional security. If you were good for somebody's mental health, if you help create harmony in a situation, if you use your skill sets to get the both of you ahead and stuff like that, right? And they respond to you with opposition. They respond to your harmony, your regulation, whether that be emotional regulation, energy regulation, whatever the case may be. They respond to your regulation with discordance, chaos, okay, adversity, right? When they respond to us that way, God literally gives them that in a person. They gives them that in an environment. So this can be like if you in whatever job you work in, position and stuff, right? Let's say you literally put your best foot forward. Okay, your skills was A1. Okay, you were very productive, very fertile. Okay, helping to grow the business, grow the clientele, keep the business going, grow or attract more money, more finances, more connections. The point is, you're creating some type of fertility in the situation, and let's say they become intimidated, okay, by you being that way or by your capabilities or what you're able to do, okay. Instead of being grateful that they're even in alignment with somebody like that, they're attached to a situation like that. Meaning, if y'all work together, right? If I'm saying like an actual job, if y'all work together and you're able to bring in like more business connections and more positive contracts where y'all all get more out of the situation, or you attract positive attention to attract like more business. If they just can basically celebrate you being on that winning streak or whatever, they get to benefit, right? But when they do the complete opposite, it's like they're basically sabotaging themselves. Like, and this is the thing, doing the complete opposite, as in trying to sabotage you or sabotage your efforts, or place unnecessary blocks and obstruction on your path. So what I was saying in one of the other videos is that it's almost like you come into a dead end, and you being so determined to get on the other side or to get through or break through the situation. If on this side of the dead end there's a cemented wall, and so you can't necessarily bust through that, or there's something over here on the other side of the dead end, you can't necessarily forge a path there either. Sometimes you may have to go back where you came from to get around that dead end. Okay, sometimes you may have to go back to the valleys to be projected to the mountains, to the hills. You get what I'm saying? And so you having like that type of mentality, that type of self-empowerment, that self-determination, that self-motivation, it's like there was people in your life, some of y'all like family, karmic family and friends, unhealed people, okay? People with low confidence value, or they place a lot of their confidence on people, places, and things outside of them. Um, these people not only were they like participating in like whether that was praying for your downfall, praying for you have some hardships, some of them paying for it, some of them being the obstruction, being the delay, being the block, okay, by how they show up with you. This even involved like disappearing acts. I wrote a card today and I was saying, Mr. and Mrs. Invisible being treated accordingly. When you treat them according to how they're choosing to show up with you, you know what I'm saying? That's a problem. That's a problem because the whole point of them showing up that way, they want to remain attached to you while showing up that way because they want it to negatively affect you. They want it to confuse you. They want you to grow in bitterness, okay? Even if something takes long. Like for example, if you can't get above the situation, if you can't go this way or this way around the dead end, the only way is to go back, to get around, to get above, okay? So if you have to go back to the valleys, even if it takes like the hike is a long ass hike, it takes a little while, okay, to take that longer route or to take that detour. These are people who feel some type of way because you have the withdrawal, you have the determination to keep going, to keep pressing forward, to get through the shit, and literally actually witnessing you overcome, actually witnessing you get the outcome. These are people who feel some type of way about that. Okay. Now, also one of the main takeaways that you got triggered in the Three of Swords. Um, this is also like betraying you, because of them getting greedy with how you show up. Okay, with this unicorn energy, them getting greedy. Like this is you already being like already being sustainably giving or generous, present, emotionally available, emotionally safe, trustworthy, loyal, dependable, reliable. Okay, um, and when people are not showing up mutually or in return that way, it's almost like demonic energy and having that person and trying to trick you into like pouring even more than what you're already pouring into the situation with the intention to deplete you. Now, I hate that the volume was so messed up. So something I was saying is that we're all ecosystems. The reason why when you hear people say, and those of us already know, when you hear people say that we're a lot like nature, it's because we literally are. You can always refer to nature to understand yourself and understand others, because when you think about how we have an energy field around us, like just this orbit of energy around us, and that's including your spirit, your mind, your emotional body, your physical body, so on and so forth, right? You are your own ecosystem. You're your own universe. You're your own world, okay? You got your own weather system going on. You got your own seasons playing out accordingly to in alignment with your decisions, okay? With where you are on your path, with the divine or the lack thereof, right? And considering that we're all ecosystems on our own, it's like we may not always be vibrating at the same season, right? But we all go through all the seasons. Everybody do. You go through your season of winter, you go through your season of spring, fall, and summer. We all do at different times, sometimes equally so, right? So the energy I was getting, that I mentioned in the last video is, how, let's say you aspire to have something for yourself, or you're working to manifest something, and let's say God connects you to someone or puts you in alignment with somebody who already has those things. This is you as a divine being, like perceiving that as, oh, I'm a step closer to what I want to manifest for myself. You know what I'm saying? Like you're in that frequency, that energy of gratitude, and optimism. and like I can see the vision, like you literally can see it. It's like God gives you proof by how he's aligning you that yeah, you're moving in the right direction. So these are people that when they see you on a winning streak, when they see you in your season of spring, in your season of summer, these are people who could be in a season of fall, who could be in a season of winter. And it's like instead of having that gratitude, right, and being grateful for you, these can be people who witnessed you when you were in your season, your fall season, witnessed you when you were in your winter season. They saw you lose things, okay? They saw you experience losses. They saw you have to be damn near hibernating and shit. You feel me? Like they witnessed you experience some very harsh times, and they saw you get through that shit. And instead of being happy for you, understanding what you've been through, these are people who feel triggered by you getting through that shit. And a lot of times, there's something about you doing that shit by yourself. You do that shit by yourself on your own. Something else I had mentioned too. Sometimes this could even be people that when you are in that winter season and that fall season, let's say boom, you're met with a dead end. Let's say this path is typically open, but now the path is no longer open. There's a dead end. This is getting okay. There's a cemented wall. These are people who could have certain resources at that time when you're going through those moments. Let's say for symbolic reasons. Let's say they have a bulldozer, but you don't have access to a bulldozer. Shit, maybe you just got a hammer or something. But there's something about your determination. It may take you longer to get through that pavement or get through that wall using that hammer, but there's something about your determination. There's something about your faith. There's something about your hope for yourself. Okay, and you keep breaking through. You keep working at it. Keep working at it. Keep working at it. Whereas, think about that too. They got the bulldozer. They can even help you get through the shit quicker. But they be more intimidated by your strength, your strong will, your strong mind. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And another energy that had came up as well was when people get greedy. When people get compromised and they get greedy about how you're showing up and they become entitled. And even it's almost like Adam and Eve and the serpent, they buy into this illusion of, oh, I can get this from anybody, or I can get this anywhere, right? They get greedy. And so they'll play like these little games, or like they'll be pretending like they're uninterested. They'll be pretending like they're losing zest or interest in the situation. They'll pretend only to get you to pour more, only to get you to like try to trick you into chasing them, trick you into being reckless or acting reckless behind them. And some get you to sabotage yourself, sabotage your opportunities, sabotage your abilities like to experience something better and greater. But damn, I really hate that the volume was so low on those videos. But it's almost like if somebody is intentionally hurting you, or they're making actions and decisions that will hurt you, that are totally unnecessary, totally unavoidable, okay, but they do it anyway. It's almost like somebody like chasing you with a gun, coming at you with a gun, threatening to shoot you, threatening to kill you. That's a dangerous situation. What are you supposed to do in a dangerous situation? You're supposed to get away from that danger, or you respond accordingly to defend yourself. But these are people who want you to be like to overly like they want you to have a slip up, or it's that twisted energy of like feeling more desirable by getting you to act chaotic behind them, or act crazy behind them, and that confused perception of, oh, this person really cares about me, and da 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 da. And here's the thing too, just because a person may not be spiritually aware of what they're doing, that doesn't mean that the demons inhabiting them are not aware. Those demons are totally aware that this person is trying to get you to deplete your energy. Those demons are totally aware that they're using the person to drain you of your anointing, drain you of your blessings, drain you of your creative power, drain you of your fortune, your prosperity, drain you of, you know what I'm saying, of your confidence. Triggered. You got triggered here again. And you also have the Queen of Cups. Okay? That intuition, that knowing, that inner knowing of the truth, what the truth is in the situation with the Ace of Swords. Right? Yeah. And what ends up happening again, it's almost like let's say if there is a 4-lane road, right? And these people over here, they just start driving reckless as hell. And you can see, okay, this can obviously lead to a traumatic experience or accident or somebody dying, getting hurt, being hospitalized. Let me maneuver myself over here in these lanes where it's more safer. Basically, let me stay in my lane. If I'm an energy that provides safety and security, and this person is trying to create anxiety unnecessarily, trying to distort my weather system and my ecosystem, trying to have me overly angry and create wildfires where I have growth, trying to burn all my shit down. The seeds that I planted that are growing, trying to get me to burn my shit down with anger and bitterness and resentment and shit like that. So these are people who feel some type of way about your level of self-control, your level to self-regulate, even when it starts to rain, it starts to thunderstorm, it starts to lightning and thunder, right? Is that something that continues happening, continues going? Like when we look at Mother Earth, does the thunder and does the thunderstorm just continue on and continue on for months? No, even if it's for weeks, right? Even if we're in a hurricane season, at some point, this too shall pass. Okay? These are people who they haven't mastered finding other avenues of transmuting, like their triggers and their trauma and things that make them feel like inferior or intimidated. They haven't fully discovered or explored like creative avenues of transmuting that energy, releasing that energy. And instead, it's like the way that they get rid of the energy is by how they receive or got in that place in the first place. If they were traumatized, instead of finding creative outlets, they end up traumatizing somebody else to get rid of the energy, to diffuse energy, to transmute energy. Okay? That's what it's getting. That's what it's getting. Yeah, you got judgment and the Eight of Swords. Okay? They bind themselves. Okay? They endanger themselves, and that's the thing. And they get that with you when you move around. You move around. You escape danger. You cheat death in a situation. And so again, going back to how God has a funny way of humbling people who take you for granted. God would allow them to live and bask in that frequency that they conjured, cultivated, and generated, that they thought, like, look, the energy that they thought was going to lead to your death. And when you're a divine being, there's benefits from your life and your death. So that's something I need to say too. So here's the thing, so depending on whatever is inhabiting or governing those people, places, and things, like if it's haunted with demonic energy, if it's a place or an environment, if it's an object that's haunted or there's some type of demonic or evil spirit attached to it, right? Or if it's a person compromised, okay? When it's those energies, they feel like they benefit more off death, right? That's demon, that's satanic energy, right? Kill, steal, and destroy. When it's the angelic being, okay, they're going to pour back into you. They're going to nourish you, okay? An example that I used in one of the first videos is that it's almost like two people in a boat, rowing a boat, right? One person starts out paddling, the other person is the lookout. And while looking out, they're getting their rest, okay, being replenished. So when the one that's paddling tires out from rowing or whatever, they swap places, okay? And this is also the harmony and the combining of the energy of, okay, one person may have like, they both may have different skill sets, but they're both, all the skill sets are conducive to getting them to their destination. You know what I'm saying? But let's say one person gets triggered or intimidated by the skill sets that the other person has, instead of being grateful, like, damn, I'm glad this person had this skill set because I don't. But thank God this person knows how to do it because I know we have a better chance at reaching our destination. Right? You know that phrase, somebody like digging holes in the boat. Okay, that's what it's giving. That's what it's giving. Yeah. And so what happens is, like, let's say your skill set, even though they're digging holes in the boat, putting holes in the boat. Let's say your skill set is swimming, but they can't swim. So you triggered by this other skill set that this person has. Okay, this is gonna be your strength and your endurance, your ability to paddle or roll further or longer. Okay, in a longer duration. So they decide to put holes in the boat. Well, let's say you try to paddle through this. Let's see you try to work through the weight of the water on the boat. Let's see how strong are you strong. Let's see how strong you really are. But you can swim and they can't. So now the boat is sinking, but you can swim. And this is also the energy of us even being the kind of people that even if they dug holes in the boat behind our back, right? We being the kind of souls that, okay, now, all right, solution oriented, conflict resolution. Okay, the boat is sinking. There's holes in the boat. Okay, I can swim. Can you swim? You can't swim? Okay, cool. Just hold on to me. I got you. But you sitting there still. So now the person is triggered by not only the person is triggered not only by your ability to swim and they can't, so they feel inferior by that physical skill. Now the demon is operating out of them that's even jealous and envious in the first fucking place. Now they just want to swim against the tide. They still want to create opposition and disharmony. So now motherfuckers grabbing on the sticks and woods and shit, like, to make it harder for you to pull them through. So then they activate our benevolent dark. And what do we have to do? We have to be okay with letting that motherfucker go. Damn, because if I keep trying to bring you along, hold on to you, clearly we both gonna die. We both gonna die. And we both got families. If I can get myself to the destination, at least there's a possibility I can care for my family and possibly yours too. Right? And that's the thing. They can't take our divinity away from us, even when they meet our divinity with demonic activity. It's very intimidating. It's very intimidating. It's almost like they want you to grow or get in this space of feeling hopeless, grow bitter because of how difficult something is, how hard something is, how long something is taking, how complicated and complex something may be, trolling your energy, trolling you, right? Want you to fall into this space of helplessness and hopeless and sinking and despair and falling apart. Look, let me tell you right now, there's some trolls that's in this energy right now. Whoever been trolling you, they're sinking in some type of despair behind the scenes, falling apart. And a lot of this has something to do with your endurance, your determination, your ability to continue to move forward. Because again, in one of the previous videos, and the reason why I'm repeating these messages for those of you who come on the video late is because I didn't realize that I forgot to turn off my Bluetooth and my earphones is like way on the other side of the room, so you can't really hear me for real. The volume is really low, so I'm repeating key messages from those two videos. So what ends up happening is you view it with a spiritual lens, with this is even giving like fight or flight. You respond accordingly. Okay, it's dangerous over here. There's danger over here. I need to get away from the danger. Let me get away from the danger. They say COVID is back up. That cough sound real nasty. Let me get away from that. They said in these two states there's some type of disease going on. Okay, well, let me go over here. You know, that's literally how we respond. How we're responding to the situation, but it's coming out like it's the card that had came out was running and staying in your lane. Those are the two cards that came out in the last video. We stay in our lane, which is We provide safety and security. We seek safety and security. We maintain, build, rebuild safety and security. So I'm gonna go over here with that said. You're over there generating chaos and adversity and discordance, imbalance, disharmony, sickness, illness, everything that's in opposition to what's connected directly to the divine. Health, wealth, you know what I'm saying? Love, right? So I'm gonna go where love is at. I'm gonna go where there's like mutual balancing and harmony. So what I was saying in the first video is, you know how when we become attached or we get attached to a person, place, or thing, if that person is not like recognizing like the obvious dangers around them, like whether that be toxic family, friends, environments and stuff like that, habits, activities, mindsets, okay, certain ways that they respond and react to shit. If we can acknowledge it with the intent to create harmony, and we create this, we provide this safety so that hey, it's safe for you to transform. I'm not gonna let nobody come and eat or tear down the cocoon while you're transforming. I'm going to guard. I'm going to be the lookout. I'm going to make sure you're safe to fully transform in this cocoon, right? But instead, they're meeting us with an opposing energy, adverse energy that's not just sabotaging us. Like, it sabotages them, but if we remain attached to them, then it successfully sabotages us, right? When we come into alignment, like when the scripture says, when two come together, God is with them. When you get into alignment with an equally yoked connection, and so now it's not you begin to get depleted and this person is draining your beauty and draining your vitality and your health and draining your finances, or you're leaking finances, and it seems like they're doing better while you're suffering, opposed to y'all both being nourished, y'all both elevating, y'all both upgrading, y'all both glowing, y'all both becoming better because of mutual exchange. Even if one person has more than the other in anything, let's say one person has more resources, but another person has more wisdom. If y'all meet that energy together, both will be blessed. Both experience miraculous opportunities and gifts and rewards and awards, opposed to just one person siphoning from the other. So they were so invested in gaslighting us, right? Gaslighting us, guilt tripping us, and things like that, to remain attached to um, situations that dysregulate us, situations that only stagnate us, okay, delay us, set us completely back, okay, because they wanted us to be denied of certain blessings and fortunes, okay. But again, if they would just work with us, and when they see us aligned with people who work with us, we're both working together with what we have. This is even given, even if somebody is homeless, but that person is like full of gratitude and knowledge and skill and wisdom, whatever, but you have money or you have resources to give to that person responds to you with gratitude. Y'all both get blessed in the situation, not just one person. It's not just one person, unless they're in a space of entitlement and they're in a space of being ungrateful and being bitter, and so they can't be appreciative of what they're given, even if it's not the amount that they want, right? At least it's like you're supposed to have that optimism and that faith the size of a mustard seed to at least be appreciative of, damn, I'm just glad somebody gave me something, because motherfuckers just been walking past me all day. But if that homeless person respond with gratitude, they celebrate them $2 and thank God. Like they like, okay, I'm a step closer to my goal. If they move out of that mentality, y'all both, the giver and the person that's receiving, y'all are both going to be blessed dramatically. That's how they go. So when you have two people who are anointed come together, there's no one person siphoning from the other. No, both of y'all are experiencing miraculous gains. That's how they go, and that's what's happening for us. So I really hope I summed up the last two videos, but that's not really. I've been getting my shit together, okay? Your beauty and presence stops people in their tracks. ashamed of family and friends. Okay, so this is the energy right now. You could be feeling like ashamed of like certain family and friends that you created a lot of beauty in their lives. Okay, you invested energy to beautify things in their life, to enlighten them, to inspire them, to make light of situations that they're going through, that y'all are going through together, whatever, or them separately. Okay, even through tough times with this, I've been getting my shit together. You're this vibration of been getting your shit together, regardless of the circumstances, the context, what it looked like, whatever. But you've had the mentality to beautify a situation, beautify something that's not the desired. It's not exactly what you desire at the moment, but you have this energy of optimism, like seeing the silver lining and working towards something that's meaningful. So you feel ashamed. You could be feeling ashamed, or there could be external energies that feel ashamed, like about family and friends. This could be some family and friends who feel ashamed of their own actions. Okay. Yep. Your beauty and presence stops people in their tracks. So this is like your internal beauty, for sure, and maybe your external beauty also. But I'm getting for this message, your internal beauty stops people in their tracks. This can be people who are on a track towards you that energy of going nowhere fast. Okay, wreckage, self-sabotage. Okay, um moving in the way of being suicidal or becoming homicidal. Okay, or becoming like on the path of being in adversity, or being a worshiper of Satan, being a puppet or a pawn of Satan. Okay, being used to create or to steal, kill, and destroy. You know what I'm saying? The beauty of your mind, the beauty that you're able to see within others and identify and nourish, you're able to stop people in their tracks and put them on the path of getting their shit together, right? And so this could be family and friends who know that about you, who used to troll you because they feel hopeless at the time, because it's a season that they're going in, because they're in a season of winter or fall in their own ecosystem, looking at you in the season of spring and summer, okay, and hating, praying on your downfall, right? You got destined reunion, so that's another message I was getting too. Like with this Eight of Swords and judgment, like trying to block or confuse people's judgment about you, like just to troll your energy, to put you in this place of sinking in despair, feeling down, feeling tied down, get you to a place of falling apart. Okay, whatever unions that they manipulated that was like intended for God or by God to be in alignment, those unions are coming back into alignment. So that's what's going on right now. What's up? It says overlooking those who tried or wanted you to be overlooked. So now you're overlooking these people who call themselves overlooking you, but they've been trolling you the whole time, stalking. Okay? Praying that you grow to become hopeless, grow to become bitter, grow to become resentful of some shit. Okay? Or grow to lose your mind. Okay? Do some shit that's against your better judgment. Okay? Sabotage your opportunities, sabotage your life. Okay? Lose hope for what's to come, like, or what you are able to manifest. Basically, get you to sabotage before the manifestation fully come in. Okay? Now you're overlooking these people. And that's what I said in one of the previous videos where the volume is low. Okay? When it comes to your haters, you're cutting them off. But that's not changing you being the lover boy, being the lover girl, being nourishing, being nurturing, being wise, being helpful, being a safe space, providing emotional security. Okay? Providing being bold to be emotionally vulnerable. But being safe, being a safe environment for somebody to meditate in, to dwell in, or to cross paths with. Okay? That's not changing from being that way. You're being a lover to other lovers. And for anybody that's a hater, you're cutting them off, you're moving around. Because that's danger. In your conscious now, in your mind, in your spirit, you're identifying that shit as danger. Let me go where it's safe. And you know what's safe and what's dangerous because of how you show up. You show up as safe. But here's the thing. we operate out of light and dark. So this is literally fully integrating your benevolent dark and light energy. These are people who they play these games to try to manipulate to get you to pour more into a situation, right? But by playing these games, moving, betraying you, doing whatever, creating danger, you're gonna move around. So now what they was pretending to do, the shit is real. It's real with you. And then they look at you like, oh, you cold hearted and you never gave a fuck and shit like that. No, it wasn't that. It's just not safe over there. So these are people who was trying to trick you into chasing them. Now they're chasing you. Okay? They wanted you to act reckless behind them. Now they're acting reckless behind you. They want you to stop them. Now they're stalking you. They want you to feel overlooked. Now you're making them feel overlooked. You know what I'm saying? So now they want to be seen by you so bad. Whether it be trying to project in the astral realm, trying to project telepathically, trying to show up where you at physically, like trying to attach like toxic arrangements or chaos or drama to you just to remain attached to you, or try to reattach to your energy. Okay, trying to bind you. Okay, exploring different ways to bind you. Okay, opening Pandora's box. So now you got these people feeling, you got some trolls, or you got some karmic family and friends that's feeling overlooked by you now. They feel overlooked. They're concerned about you manifesting multiple streams of wealth and opportunity or love, and yeah. And you know what? Again, you know how we master even getting to a place of multiple streams that are beneficial for us, and we have options that are healthy and conducive for us, because we've gone through winters and falls, like tough season hardships, like really hard things where it seemed like the odds were against us, like we're at a dead end. And it's like, yo, like it seems impossible to overcome, to get through this shit. But it's like you built your strength, you built your muscle on forging a path. Like this is getting like busting through a wall type shit. That wall is supposed to keep you out or keep you away from your success or your happiness, your safety, your stability, but you busting through that shit, or you looking around, like even building weapon crafting shit to get through some shit. This is how you get to the point of manifesting multiple streams. You become well versed, you become diverse, right? You become versatile on getting through hard shit, overcoming, being a conqueror. Okay? It says these are people who supposed to be moved on, but they stay watching you because you actually are moving on. You actually are. Oh my god, that is crazy. It could be so. Some of these people could be like exes, or like people who were interested in you, or it seems to be like new prospects. But you got people lusting after you. People lusting after your energy sexually, whatever their reasons may be. But the card is out here. And I don't show the card, but it's out here. Because what I wrote is a little bit more, yeah, it's a little bit more explicit. So, yeah, because you listen to guys. So there's people who want to get with you, want to hook up with you, want to, are they just feeling like a strong attraction to you or towards your energy, or like, it's like you listening to God makes you very attractive. It makes you far more attractive. Definitely more attractive than those listening to the devil. I'll tell you that now. There's somebody that's experiencing a kidney failure. Okay? Somebody who is trolling you. Yeah, they could be experiencing kidney failure. This could be a toxic family member or friend. Somebody who has curly hair. Or you could be somebody who has curly hair. You got curly bae. Somebody could have a pixie cut. This could be you, or this could be this person. Okay? Somebody who gets bust downs, okay, weed and shit. Like, so this applies to any of them, okay? Whoever this is, whether this is you or them, somebody's listening to God and somebody else is experiencing some type of health crisis, and if this is you experiencing some type of health crisis, there's something about you listening to God. So this could be people like trying to discourage you or trying to fearmonger you, like even if it's quote unquote professionals, but it's something about you listening to God, okay? And that's the type of energy God wants. That's the type of faith God wants us to have, especially like when it comes to having a faith the size of a mustard seed. A mustard seed is tiny as fuck. So even if you was a person with a lot of faith, then you go through so much and overwhelming odds that your faith, your hope gets reduced to the size of a mustard seed. In order to overcome, all you have to do is hold on to that. Because that one mustard seed can create a plant that produces a multitude of mustard seeds, right? Thinking of a master plan. So this could be you thinking of a master plan, okay? Something involving finance is gonna make, because now my hand itching, okay? Yeah. It says people are confronting them about their stupidity and ignorance. So there was somebody trying to develop some type of master plan, okay, to create sickness or illness or disease in your life. People are confronting this person or these people about their stupidity and their ignorance. That's what's going on right now. Somebody who thought something was a master plan, okay, to play with your life, try to stress you out, play with your health, try to get you to become addicted to things just so you can cope. Yeah, people are confronting them about how they showed up with you because you didn't deserve that shit. They're confronting, so they're seeing the situation as it is, like you're a fucking hater. Like people are being confronted for being a fucking hater to you. Like that's what's going on. Yep. Yeah, and they're talking about how you made somebody look like a bitch. You punked somebody out that was trying to punk you out. Somebody that was coming up with some type of grand scheme. Yeah, you got recovering from an addiction or recovering from addiction. Okay? And addiction don't have to just be substances. Okay? Hmm. This even be like how you guys move. Like you guys move at like a master level. Like this is giving like master number like 11, 22, 33. Like this is it's something about divine beings. That's how we move. That's how we think. That's how we operate. And this is causing your enemies or whoever's been trolling you, who's ever been opposing you, this is making them look like a bitch. That's how they're being seen. And that's another thing too. I don't know if I mentioned it on here, but for example, even if somebody is punching holes in the boat behind your back, right? You didn't necessarily see them do it with your physical eyes, right? I was talking about how we have the kind of energy that, okay, conflict resolution, so boom, the boat is sinking. Let me, I'm the one that can swim. Can you swim? You can't swim? Okay, well, just hold on to me, right? We have those kind of hearts, okay? But we had to master our boundaries and our dark, like to realize, hey, this person is intentionally working against me. Like, they don't even give a damn about killing me. And they clearly don't give a damn about losing their own life. I gotta cut this person off. That's you mastering your dark energy. Okay? With this thinking of a master plan. Okay? Thinking of a master plan is punking your enemies out. Okay? Making them appear less appealing, unattractive. Yeah, it says, I love you for you, flaws and all. So this can even be this can even be like you loving yourself, flaws and all, or you still having love for these people but moving accordingly. Again, it doesn't stop you from being this lover boy, lover girl energy, but you're gonna go where it's safe. Okay? Like, okay, I'm gonna love you from over here type shit. Like, I'm gonna love you from over here. I can love you unconditionally, flaws and all, but I'm not gonna just tolerate disrespect. Okay? And you're receiving divine assistance. Okay? While doing this or maneuvering this way, you get divine assistance. While they're receiving demonic situations here, demonic outcomes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It says experiencing the complete opposite of what you once provided. Confirmation. They're experiencing demonic outcomes, the complete opposite of what you was. Yep. They didn't want it, right? So if you don't want this, and okay, bet. You tell me God you don't want a blessing. You tell me God, you don't want angelic experiences, angelic love, angelic friendship, angelic business partner. Like, that's not what you want. Okay, good. Well, you can have that other shit then. Confirmation: cutting off haters and loving on lovers. That's the energy, and it's fixed. That's what it's getting like. This is the fixed energy right now in the collective. What season are we in? Is it Leo? Is it Leo season? I think it's Leo season, and Leo is a fixed sign. hmm And Leo also rules the heart. So this is the energy of the collective right now. It's like our hearts are fixed and our minds are made to fuck up. Okay, realizing someone or others are intentionally sabotaging because you realize someone or others were intentionally sabotaging. So your heart is fixed, your mind is made up. I'm gonna love on who loves me and who's loving, and I'm gonna cut off the haters. That's the master plan here. Yeah, that's how I continue receiving divine assistance, regardless of what the situation is. Yeah, these are energies who are extremely ungrateful, okay? And weaponizing your family or weaponizing family and friends to overwhelm you, okay? Yes, they're not able to do this anymore. Like, you've escaped it. This was a teaching moment for you and for them. Yeah. And it says you are a professional of integrity. And what's crazy, like, some of you guys like were really, really tempted. Like, it says, I was ready to fold, not gonna lie. Like, these are people who were intentionally pushing you to get some type of like reaction out of you that would sabotage you, okay? It's gonna don't push me because I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. Tight. That's what it's going. Just kidding. You rebuilt yourself despite several efforts to tear you down. Yep. All right, you guys.